someone is completely taken over by thoughts of you. But right now, you cannot be together with them. Your inner feeling already knows this is real. Even when your thoughts try to push it away, take a slow breath and listen carefully, because what you are about to hear is not random at all. And it is not something you simply made up in your mind. The person who just appeared in your thoughts did not show up there without a reason. There is a strong and quiet connection between you two, one that neither of you can fully explain or easily leave behind. It is not just a passing idea that comes and goes. It is something deep, steady, and very hard to ignore. They feel pulled toward you in a way that is both powerful and carefully controlled at the same time. It is a kind of emotion they have never truly allowed themselves to feel before, until now. Still, something keeps you both apart. Something makes this connection feel not allowed or not fully possible right now. And understanding exactly why this is happening will change the way you see every thought, every feeling, and every shared moment between you. Even when there is physical distance between you, someone out there is fully consumed by thoughts of you. But this connection is not something that is permitted to fully express itself at this stage. This situation shows two important truths that need to be understood deeply and clearly. Take a slow and steady breath before going further, because this message did not reach you by accident. If this silent, emotional message resonates with you, it is because something inside you recognizes it. You did not come across this by chance alone. The person who came into your thoughts is there for a reason. There is someone connected to your life, or someone who keeps appearing in your mind without being called, who shares a deep and meaningful bond with you. It is not a short-lived emotion. It is not light or temporary, and it is not something that will disappear quickly. It is deep, constant, calm, and always present in the background. They are drawn to you, but not in a loud or dramatic way. It is a quiet, held-back feeling, something they have never fully experienced in their past. Yet this connection feels restricted and blocked. Not because love is missing, but because something stands in the way. This restricted feeling shows two very important realities. These realities explain why the connection feels so strong, why distance exists, and why neither of you can fully move forward or fully let go of what is already there. And before going deeper into those realities, if this already touches something inside you, if you felt your breathing change while reading, then stay present with it for a moment. You must first accept one simple truth. When a relationship feels restricted, it does not mean there is weakness in the connection. In fact, it often means the opposite. Restricted connections are rarely surface level. They do not begin when life is easy or comfortable. They do not come from boredom or empty emotional space. They are not created from loneliness or temporary attraction. They come from deep recognition within the heart and mind. This person did not choose these feelings consciously. It happened slowly at first, and then all at once. At the beginning, you were just someone they noticed. Then you became someone they respected. Then someone they trusted. And without fully realizing it, you became someone they cannot stop thinking about. What makes it restricted is not a lack of true emotion. It is the situation, the timing, responsibilities, fears, and personal boundaries that stand in the way. This is where the first major reality appears. This person is going through an inner conflict every day because of you. They are not fighting against you. They are struggling with their own feelings. They wake up thinking about you and then immediately remind themselves why they should not. They replay conversations in their mind and then feel guilty for smiling at them. They imagine being close to you, then push those thoughts away because wanting you feels dangerous. Not dangerous for emotion, but dangerous for the life they have built and the rules they follow. For some, this means they are already committed elsewhere. For others, it may be family expectations, cultural boundaries, social pressure, or personal values they were taught never to break. Sometimes one of you is simply not fully available, which makes everything more complicated than it seems. Sometimes this connection challenges everything they believed they wanted from life. Instead of acting, they hold back. Instead of speaking, they stay silent. Instead of coming closer, they observe from a distance. And one important truth is often missed completely. Silence does not mean absence of feeling. Often, it means the feeling is too strong to handle openly. This person is not emotionally calm about you. Their feelings are intense, but hidden. They do not express them because speaking might open a path they are not ready to walk. They do not act because action would force them to face consequences they are not prepared for. They do not come closer because closeness would reveal emotions they have even hidden from themselves. As Carl Jung once suggested, what you resist within yourself becomes stronger. And that is exactly what is happening here. Every time they try not to reach out, the feeling grows. Every time they pull away, the connection deepens. Every time they deny what they feel, it does not disappear. It becomes more present beneath the surface. Feelings that are suppressed do not vanish. They grow stronger over time. This may explain the strange emotional shifts you sometimes notice. It explains why you think about them suddenly without warning. It explains why their presence feels close even when they are not there. It explains why your emotions change without a clear reason. You may feel their energy even in quiet moments. You may sense an unfinished emotional thread between you. This happens because unspoken emotions do not disappear. They wait and remain active in the background of the mind. Carl Jung also said that what is not brought into awareness continues to influence your life, often appearing as fate. Much of what connects you now remains unspoken, unresolved, and hidden. Because of this, it creates tension beneath the surface. This person carries you in their private thoughts while appearing calm to the outside world. They may seem stable and composed, but inside there is movement in opposite directions. One part wants to move closer, while another part pulls away. This is not because you mean little to them, but because you mean too much, and that creates fear. They worry about disrupting lives, crossing boundaries, or starting something they cannot control. If you have experienced this kind of silent emotional pull, you know how exhausting it can feel. It creates weight, even without words. It builds intensity, even without contact. And distance does not always bring peace. Jung also described that when two people connect, it is like two forces interacting, both changed permanently by the encounter. And you have already been changed. Both of you have been influenced in ways you may not fully understand yet. Something inside you has shifted because of this connection. This is not imagination. This is not an error. This is something that goes beyond simple logic or explanation. And this is why time alone cannot erase it. It is not sustained by habit. It is sustained by meaning. Where love exists in this form, there is no desire for control. That is why this connection feels confusing. There is no manipulation, no strategy, no game. There are simply two people experiencing something real, but unable to fully place it into their normal lives. As this understanding grows, one truth becomes clear. You are not just a passing thought in their mind. You are not replaceable. You are part of an emotional experience that has already changed both of you and continues to shape how you see yourself and each other. And as this continues to unfold slowly, the meaning of this connection becomes clearer over time. If you are still here, it means something in this message resonates deeply within you. Most people ignore this kind of message, not because they feel nothing, but because it feels too real to sit with comfortably. And as this truth settles in, you begin to understand that this connection does not behave like ordinary attraction. It does not fade easily. It does not weaken just because of distance. It stays present, quietly, in the background of both lives. Even when daily life demands attention elsewhere, thoughts of this person return without effort. The same is happening on their side. They may appear fully engaged in their routine, responsibilities, and daily tasks, but the mind always returns to what feels unfinished. They remember how understood they felt with you. They remember how natural it felt to simply exist around you. They remember moments that carried more meaning than they could explain. And that is exactly why it stays in their mind. This is where many misunderstand such connections. They assume distance means lack of feeling. But often, distance exists because the feeling is too strong to manage openly. This person knows that if they take even one step closer, they may not be able to return to who they used to be. They feel that something permanent is waiting on the other side of being fully honest, and they are not yet ready to break apart the life they have built so carefully and deliberately, even if that life no longer fully matches the person they are slowly becoming inside. So they choose control instead of openness. They choose their current situation instead of the full weight and depth of their emotions. They choose the discomfort they already understand instead of a truth they are still not able to fully trust. But there is always a cost for that choice. Every time they push down what they truly feel, it does not disappear. It transforms into something else within them. It shows up as restlessness, as distraction, as a quiet but constant sense of emotional distance from the people they are supposed to feel fully connected with. They may begin to question relationships that once felt stable and safe. They may feel that something is missing without being able to clearly explain what it is. They may wonder why the same answers that once brought comfort now feel empty or incomplete. They may never say your name out loud during these moments, but you become a silent reference point inside them. You represent a kind of emotional honesty they have not yet allowed themselves to fully live. This is why the connection never feels finished. It is not only about two people missing each other, it is about two lives standing at the beginning of a deep and unavoidable inner shift. You feel this too. Even if you cannot fully explain it, you may notice that after this person entered your life, your expectations changed quietly without any clear announcement. What you are willing to accept in a relationship now feels different. What you truly want has become more defined and more honest. What you once tolerated without question now feels empty and no longer enough. You may find yourself less willing to stay where emotions are only halfway present. You may have less patience for connections that lack depth and sincerity. You are now more aware of what real connection actually feels like, and that awareness did not appear randomly. It came from recognition. This is where the second layer of meaning begins to reveal itself. This connection is not only about wanting someone, it is about waking up internally. Some connections are meant to create a shared future. Others exist to awaken your inner truth. This one belongs fully to that second category. Not because it can never grow into something more, but because its strongest effect is happening within you. You met this person at the exact right time, when something inside you was ready to shift. And they met you at the exact moment when they were quietly questioning the life they had been living, even if they never spoke that doubt to anyone. This is why the pull feels so strong and so confusing at the same time. You act as mirrors for each other. You reveal parts they have kept hidden, and they bring out parts of you that were waiting to come forward. This type of connection does not follow normal timing. It does not rush. It does not announce itself clearly. Instead, it slowly reshapes your priorities, your values, and your understanding of what truly matters. Right now, leave the number 1011 in the comments. In symbolic timing and in the patterns Jung studied, 111 represents the moment where what was hidden begins to become visible. When two energies that have been moving toward each other finally align. If this message reached you at the right time, that number becomes your quiet acknowledgement. The channel notices every comment left here. Drop 111 if you feel this was meant for you. That is why even the silence between you feels full, as if something is still active beneath it. You may wonder why letting go feels so difficult. Why thinking your way out of it does not work. Why telling yourself it cannot happen does not bring real relief. It is because this bond is not sustained by imagination alone. It is held in place by a truth that has not yet been fully lived and understood. And a truth that has been deeply felt cannot simply be erased or forgotten. You are not only holding on to a person, you are holding on to an experience of emotional clarity that changed you at a deep level. And they are going through the same internal process. This does not mean you should wait endlessly. It does not mean you should pause your life or abandon your present for an uncertain future. It means you are being asked to understand what this connection is teaching you. It is showing you how deeply your heart can feel. It is showing you the kind of connection that gives energy instead of only taking it. It is reminding you that real emotion is not limited to what is easy or safe. And it is doing the same for them, whether they are aware of it or not. What happens next cannot be forced. It cannot be rushed through desire alone. It cannot be created through silence or pursuit. This kind of bond only opens fully when honesty becomes stronger than fear. Until that point, it remains in between states. Not gone, but not fully formed. It lives in thoughts, in emotions, and in quiet moments where truth speaks softly rather than loudly. As time moves forward, the tension between who they were and who they are becoming will continue to grow. The same is true for you. Eventually something must change, because a mind that has truly awakened does not return to sleep. And when change comes, it will not be because of pressure. It will happen because of readiness. Readiness does not arrive with dramatic signs. It builds quietly through discomfort and through the slow realization that something within no longer matches the life being lived. For them, this often begins subtly. Roles they once carried easily start to feel heavier. Responsibilities they once accepted without question begin to feel limiting. Their emotional patterns start to feel empty, even when everything looks fine on the surface. You are not the cause of that shift. You are the presence that revealed what was already there. You did not destabilize their life. You illuminated the parts that were already misaligned.